Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. I want to give my initial reactions to the new Legendary Chaos Legion Death Summoner. I think this one looks amazing. That's my initial response. I haven't done a deep analysis of sort of where this will fit in or which cards it'll work with, but it seems to me, and let's pull it up here on the screen, that this is going to be a powerful one. There is a blog post about it. Here it is. 5th Chaos Legion Legendary Summoner airdrop revealed. Astral entity. First of all, the art's amazing. I've talked about the art before. We knew this for a while, that the card would look like this. Based on its appearance, you know, there was speculation around evasiveness. There was speculation on magic damage output, or maybe the phase ability. Again, evasiveness was one of the themes that at least I was thinking very seriously with this. And in some sense that has come true. I don't want to read the whole blog post, but here's the stats. Let's not bury the lead. You guys know this already probably, but I only saw this yesterday or maybe even this morning on a tweet. And so this is my first kind of actual response to this, my first thought on it. I think dodge is probably the most powerful or the most important evasive technique. Like if you consider flight is an equal amount of opportunity to avoid. Dodge is a 25% chance to avoid. Flight is a 25% chance to avoid, but flight can be countered immediately and perfectly with snare. Now snare is uncommon, but I still feel as though that puts flight at a lower level of importance and value and impact than dodge. Then you might say, well, blind is like across the board on top of all speed modifiers, and it affects everything: magic, archery, melee. True, but the problem with blind is it's only 15%, not 25%. So I feel dodge is the most impactful. And phase, there's also phase. You could say, well, phase is really huge because now you can avoid even magic. That's true. I love phase. It's very powerful. It changes certain monsters into extremely evasive monsters. But you need to have that built-in, that pre-existing speed. You can't, it's not like phase does anything for you in and of itself. If you're a slow monster and you give it phase, it's meaningless unless it's a reverse rule set. To me, dodge is the most important evasive technique that the game offers. Is the most impactful ability that has to do with speed, other than, I guess, just baseline speed. If you have +3 speed, it's going to be better than this. But I'm saying dodge is a 25% chance and it's the most impactful. So I love that. So that's amazing. -2 armor is a bit of a, I feel, a sleeper ability. Like, what do I mean? I mean, it's people don't, I don't think, I haven't read anybody else's response to this yet. So maybe I'm wrong about this, but I suspect you guys feel -2 armor is meh. And I think given the armor meta that exists and all the protect that's becoming more and more common, even Archimus is a recent and inexpensive protect monster that a lot of us now have. Not to mention probably 5, 6, 7 other protect monsters just very, very quickly. Going to buy the amount of protect monsters right on this screen. That's a lot, man. I know some of these are wild and you play in modern. And so people would think, well, I never see the Crustacean King. I never see Defender of Truth. Okay. But man, there's a potential for a lot of armor. And this is just the protect. But don't forget about the fact that many of the monsters come, even, I would argue, increasingly more so, armor is pre-existing on monsters. And then you have all the summoners that have plus armor too. I mean, now how many do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that does count because alphas and betas they're different cards that held by different people. 5, 6. You could say Cancius with the repair is adding more armor, putting more armor on the table. So that's 7. Liar, Deep Swimmer, I think we're up to 8. Lux, 9. I mean, the amount of armor that's reaching the game through summoners, through protect, is increasingly large and impactful. And so to bring what amounts to essentially rust, right? Bringing -2 armor is rust. So therefore, I think that's going to be really, really helpful. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that. That's my expectation as I look at it. And then resurrect, are you kidding me? Super powerful. I feel this is maybe I need to see it. I need to feel it. I really need to think through some of the synergies with some of the monsters on the Death Splinter, but I feel as though this is probably the best that we've seen. Probably better than, is it better than Wraith? You know, Wraith has a lot of defensive capabilities, a lot of, you know, its own special kit. I really like Wraith. Yastik's interesting in his own way. Possibilis is interesting in his own way. Same with Immortalis. I like this as probably the number 2 behind Wraith. And maybe it's number 1 if you use it wisely. If you bring monsters who have 6, 7 speed and they have flight or they have, you know, phase. I'm thinking Nightmare is one option. That dodge is going to be such a powerful addition. The resurrect is so key. So I love this card. I think it's going to be one of, maybe it's the best legendary summoner out of this new Chaos Legion launch. I'm excited to see what Dragon is. I think that will be king, but I love this card. What do you guys think? I want to see the comments below. Guys, thanks so much for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.
Happy birthday!
Thanks so much. God bless.